Hello? All right, so they want me to talk about the New York story. My New York story is really not that complicated. I'm what they call a graffiti artist. And when I began doing graffiti was in the year 1979. I was maybe like 12, 13 years old. And at the time they called it vandalism. But you know, what I like is that today it's become something that's a recognized art form. It's no longer vandalism. It can be vandalism, but graffiti for me and just art in general is something that I love to do. I love it. You know, I come from a background where I come from the Bronx. I'm from the South Bronx. And I come from an area that started a lot of things. You know, you got hip hop, began in the Bronx, right in my neighborhood. And then you got graffiti, which is one of the elements of hip hop. And I did graffiti for quite some time now. I stopped doing it for a while. I'm a person that was in prison, I was in jail, I did drugs. You know, I no longer do drugs, I do art. And art is my therapy. This is what keeps me balanced. And I'm a work in progress. You know, my New York story is still being written. So my legacy will continue, and I want to be remembered as somebody that overcame a lot of obstacles that were placed in front of him. Thank you. Once again, my name is Cose TDS, and I'm a graffiti artist. My inspiration was my dad. 12, 13 years old, he bought my first pad, little sketch pad. And I liked what I saw when I drew what I drew. And the rest is history. And, you know, I guess that everybody wants some kind of 15 minutes of fame. And maybe that's part of why I became a graffiti artist. And I started writing on trains in the 80s. But I really have no schooling. I'm just self-taught. Nobody taught me. I did it on the trains. I ran from the police. Got arrested in 1983, but that's basically it. I really have no much more to say about it. I'm self-taught from the school of hard knocks. That's where I come from. My creative process is real simple. Life. When I do a canvas, which I've done a lot. Right now, I would say I have around 100 canvases already done. I have a bunch in storage, I have a bunch in the house. Mom, my wife, when are you gonna start selling some of these stuff? I'm gonna throw these things away. So I'm like, my creative process, I won't sleep. Once I finish one, my mind will be clicking and clicking. What am I gonna do next? What's my next concept? I'll be on the train, I'll be reading books. I love books, I'm like a walking book. I love history, I love psychology. These are my favorite subjects. So most of my art, that's what it reflects. Stuff that I read, stuff that I see on the street, when I go to art exhibits, people inspire me. You guys inspire me, everything inspires me. So that's my creative process, and whatever comes to mind, that's what I do. How do I deal with the market of the art world? So me, like I said, I've been doing graffiti for 35 plus years, and I just got back into the art world legally. Like about 2.5 years ago, I started doing canvases. For me, this is therapy to me. I love what I do. It's my passion. You know, my side job is a drug counselor. You know, I stopped doing drugs and I became a drug counselor, so I help others. But the way I market my art is what I'm doing right now. I'm on the grind right now. I'm hustling. I'm exposing myself. I'm talking. I'm letting you guys know who I am. You know, I've done a lot of bad things in life, but I'm not a bad person. I've never been. And I'm a work in progress. You know, I just hope you guys see that in me. You know, I've come a long way. You know, as time goes on, because this ain't the last you're gonna hear of me, you'll know a little more about me. And that's basically how I market myself, what I'm doing now. made me think a little bit there, but that's what it's supposed to do. You stimulated me. My life's experiences, things I've been through, I think I was always an artist. I think I was born an artist. I'm a very visual person, but I made some bad choices in life, and I guess we all do. And it took me a long time to get to this point. But you know, when I pass away, I want people to say, you know what, this guy, maybe he didn't sell that much art. Who knows? But I just want to leave a positive impact on this planet. That despite all the bad choices I made, I overcame a lot of obstacles in my life. And as an artist, you know, I want to be, you know, recognized as somebody who did the best they could with what they had, whatever that is. Thank you.
I want to ask the young lady here, who inspired you to draw, and you know, or when you started drawing, when you was young?
When did I start? Yeah, when I was young. I mean, I have in my collection, personal collection, pieces from when I was like 2, 3, you know, so like form and color has always been my preferred language.
Yeah. And I want one more. What do art means to you? Art. Like
What does
art.
it mean
What
to
does it
you?
mean to you? What it is?
I mean, creation as a whole, you know, transcending just visual art, but creating in my life and everything is like where I can be the most free and the most myself. So art means freedom, I guess.
God bless.
Thank you.
Good luck with your art.
My question is
That's a good
for
question.
you two of that. So how do you manage to like balance doing something for more your creative expression and also like paying the bills? Because it seems like you're more, you know, concerned about self-expression, how you feel better impacting the community. But you know, sometimes like you have that issue. I have to pay the bills, but I also have to do this for my better self. So how do you balance that?
Well, for me, it's real easy. Like I said, I don't do this for the money. I do this because I love to do it. It's a therapeutic process for me. It's a catharsis type of thing for me. I release all these energies on these canvases. I have a career which is a substance abuse counselor. I do that because, like I said, I'm a recovering addict myself. And I do these things no more, like as far as putting substance in my body. So that helps me pay the bills. And this, whenever I sell a canvas, I sell it. But that's basically how I do it. And it's all about balance. And I'm a hustler, man. I'm gonna find a way to make it. However I gotta do it. Just who I am.
I would say a similar thing. I think too it's about like finding a 9-to-5 or a main source of income, I guess, that fits your lifestyle. Like I did administrative work for a while, like working in an office and working for somebody, but now I'm a server, so I get more hours. It's like less hours for me, but more hours making money on the books. And then when I go home, I sacrifice and I don't really sleep necessarily, and I work for myself. And like, I have to develop that mindset of like, okay, when I go to work, I'm not, like I'm giving up time that I could be putting into my crafts, but I'm taking that money, reinvesting it in myself, buying my tools, and then I go to work when I get home. So it's just like a cycle that sort of fuels itself. Yeah.
So, right over here.
As an artist myself, music inspires me. So my question would be, if you were to choose one contemporary artist or musician, who would it be? Explore each of them.
They have to be contemporary?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a bunch.
And it's visual artist or
Or
music
a
artist?
musician.
Oh, okay.
I'll say it real quick. I love Jay-Z. The reason I love him is because he comes from the bottom. He comes from Marcy Projects, and he's one of the richest people in America right now. He's a billionaire. So I like his grind, and I like the way he started doing illegal things, and then he turned it around, and now he's legal. You know, the way I look at it, I read a lot of books. Like I said, if you do a study in society, the biggest crooks are lawyers, you know, people in Wall Street. They're all criminals. The only difference between them and a lot of people from the so-called ghettos is that they're educated criminals. They know all the loopholes. They know how to get around it. Right. So that's what I do. I read, and I'm always learning something new. You know, and I'm not perfect. So I do the best I can.
Yeah, boy, my brother.
To me, it would be, I think, I love to read, so it would be, I cannot decide between Shakespeare and Dostoevsky. Both of them were.
Contemporary.
Oh, contemporary.
That's good.
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. My favorite band is Green Day.
Green Day.
All right, for me, it has to be Toriyama Akira or Akira Toriyama, if you're saying it in English, the creator of Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump, because that's what my journey started with. It started with those tankobons, or Japanese comic books that are collected in volumes. Basically, I would read those and I would just get excited. Something would bubble up inside me, like a lot of excitement. It was maybe the energy of the drawing and the energy of the story. But he's what got me started, and then from there, I would say Osamu Tezuka. He's the creator of Astro Boy, and he made over 170,000 pages of comics in his life, as well as illustrations and animations. And that just came from more studying, like Jose said, just studying your craft. More studying deeper and deeper into my my art form, and traveling to Japan. When I went to Japan, I didn't just make comics, I studied and went to all the museums that had the best Japanese comic art on the walls, and libraries that had manga and comic art, and I just studied all that stuff. So for me, it's comic artists.
Actually, the first painting series that I ever started was inspired by going to a concert. Specific concert, so good question. It was, the artist was a woman named Holly Herndon, who does a lot of work with artificial intelligence to create music. And I saw her do a Sandy benefit concert, and that was right around the time that I started painting, was Hurricane Sandy. I guess in addition to that, I'll say that I'm a big concert goer, and I'm always really glad that I'm not a musician, because I'm glad that I don't have to invest in and lug around the heavy equipment that musicians do.
That's good.
Um,
Oh,